Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another one of the TravelMole in Conversation With series of podcast broadcasts. And today I'm delighted to have the head of tourism in the state of Colorado, and that's Cathy Ritter. Good afternoon or good morning it is to you, Cathy.
Good morning, Graham.
How are you doing?
It's snowy here in Denver. We've had a dusting of snow, but we have our beautiful blue skies. As you can see in the picture behind me, it's a pretty typical sight in Colorado. We claim 300 days of sunshine, and we enjoy every one of them here.
I'm sure. Well, having been there myself on several occasions, I know how beautiful the countryside is, and I think that's probably one of the big advantages that Colorado will have coming out of lockdown. But before we get to discuss that, just a quick review. I mean, I know, and I read somewhere that revenues for tourism in 2020 were down more than 50%. Is that correct? And how do you view 2021 going forward?
Well, we are definitely, tourism spending is definitely down in Colorado for this past year. The tourism economics projections are showing that we're down by 50.1%, so just over 50%, and that compares to about 45% down nationally. So we're a tourism state. We're hit a little harder than a lot of other states. The prospects for improvement, though, I think will be especially good for states like Colorado, where so much of what we offer is naturally socially distancing. And people are looking, as our research shows, for those kinds of experiences where they can enjoy being outside. They can enjoy being in places that aren't terribly congested. And Colorado offers, those kinds of experiences in abundance. We are cropping up on the list of top places that people are interested in visiting in 2021. And so we hope that's the kind of momentum that is going to lead us to recovery faster than perhaps other states will experience.
I'm sure you're in a senior position within state tourism, that you would have interaction with the powers that be, if you like, in the state, the governor and so on downwards. How do they view tourism as in terms of the importance of it within the economy? And do they recognize that tourism could well be a major boost, given that its tentacles go out into the other parts of the economy so far? The multiplier effect of tourism is so high.
Yeah, I'm excited to say that our governor is actually planning to attend the next meeting of our Colorado Tourism Board to hear directly from our office and from our board members about the important role that tourism will play in economic recovery. And the message that I share consistently, and we'll be sharing that day as well, is that tourism is that industry that is ready to go. All you have to do to drive revenues and business earnings and jobs from tourism is to get people to show up. You don't have to lay a brick. You don't have to recruit venture capital money. The infrastructure is already there. And all we need to do to activate that, that type of recovery is truly to get people in our destinations again. And we can do that quickly with marketing and the right programs and the right message.
Well, we've hinted at the fact that Colorado has the product for a post-pandemic world, in that it's open spaces, wildlife. I've personally had one of the best road trips. I was on my own, unfortunately, but road trips from Colorado Springs to Ouray just before IPW was in Denver a couple of years ago. I mean, it is a fantastic place to go. Do you think, first of all, are you going to be emphasizing those aspects in your marketing for post-pandemic world? And how far does that really reach? I mean, at the moment, presumably it's state tourism, and then regional tourism, and then perhaps national tourism.
Yes, we are anticipating, we saw evidence of this last year, even, that there will be continued high interest in road trip experiences. Colorado is blessed with 26 scenic and historic byways, more than any other state. And those provide sort of ready-made routes for people to explore all that Colorado has to offer. And through a diversity of landscapes, as you yourself experienced, Graham, going from Colorado Springs to Ouray, we think those kinds of experiences will be high on people's list. But also, just getting outdoors and being able to experience, the other other things that may not be necessarily indoors this year in an outdoor way. So one of the things we're putting together is a murals road trip. We have seen this proliferation of outdoor art popping up in our state. And we thought, well, what a great way of linking and creating a new traveler experience that can be enjoyed outdoors, but still give people exposure to the arts, which has been sadly lacking in some ways with limited access to museums, limited out, music performances. So we're really putting our thinking caps on how to serve up these kinds of experiences in new, acceptable ways.
Good. One of the things that Colorado really is now got a reputation for, a brand almost, is part of your brand credentials, is being fairly adult about everything and fairly informed and fairly advanced thinking. One of those aspects is environment and sustainability. When we come out of pandemic, there would obviously be a temptation to go for mass tourism and to blow those sort of environmental and sustainable credentials away in the pursuit of the greenback. But are you trying to work hard at not doing that? And and if you are, is that backed by the governor as well?
Yes, we are, okay, to use what is becoming a well-worn phrase these days, we are very focused on ways we can build back better. And one of the opportunities we're seeing along these lines is to meet the needs of this growing number of travelers who are really interested in reducing their impact as they travel. And so we see, because we have so many assets already in place in Colorado, we're seeing a huge opportunity around making Colorado the destination of choice for people traveling in the US to find ways of traveling with lesser impact, with reducing their carbon footprint. We're extremely blessed to have 2 of the 7 cities in the United States that are powered by 100% renewable energy, great places to visit too, Aspen and Glenwood Springs. And by this summer, 10 of those 26 scenic and historic byways in our state will be ready for travel by electric vehicles. So we're already putting together road trips around these kinds of experiences. We're entering into a partnership with a major rental car provider and the greenest airline by far in the United States, Frontier Airlines, which is headquartered in Denver. And our goal is really to just make it easy for travelers who are interested in this kind of traveler to consume it in Colorado. The other way we think this positions us smartly for the future is that the first wave of travelers who are ready to come back in the United States are going to be millennials and Gen Xers. And those are the audience segments right now that are saying low impact travel is the most important to them. And so, but we were also seeing building interest among baby boomers and travelers in general about being more conscientious as they travel. So we want our message to be come to Colorado, enjoy our beautiful state, and do it in a way that's also environmentally responsible.
Well, that's a good brand and policy attribute to have, I would think, going forward from everybody's point of view. Now, we spoke about that the plan really, and the plan for everybody almost everywhere in the world, has been local, regional, national, and then eventually international. Obviously, Colorado is famous for its ski resorts, but it's not just that. I mean, international travelers come for leisure throughout the year. What priority have you put on in terms of international tourism and inbound tourism to Colorado?
Well, right now we are keeping we hope we are keeping interest in Colorado, international interest in Colorado on simmer because of, so many restrictions on travel these days. It's simply not realistic to invite people to come to our state right now. But we are certainly taking steps to keep Colorado top of mind. From the research that we've been seeing, North American travelers from Mexico and Canada are the ones who are most likely to come back first. But we want to make certain that we're keeping thoughts of Colorado alive in our longtime European markets, certainly the United Kingdom, Germany. We know the immediate propensity to travel from those countries is going to be regionally, probably visiting Europe. but we want to make certain people don't, don't forget about the wonderful travel experiences they can have, in the outdoor experiences, that are unmatched in Colorado. So, we want to make certain we're keeping that message out there. We're launching a campaign very shortly. Colorado loves, and we're going to be sending love messages to the UK. Colorado loves the UK, and we hope you will keep us in mind and come and visit us in the future.
Well, it's an appropriate time to do it with February the 14th coming along, and also the epicenter of Valentine's Day, Loveland, being in Colorado. So that's good. Do you think, Cathy, that whilst it's been an absolute tragedy and it's been one of the worst things that most people can remember in terms of the travel industry, absolutely, apart from the Second World War and other great events like that, do you feel that from your position that tourism will become even more important, not just economically, we've gone through that, but also socially, because people need to be tactile, people need to meet other people need to mix. So from a mental health, from social and cultural point of view, tourism is going to be even more important within the Colorado and indeed the national and global economies and societies. Do you think it puts you in an even more important position?
This isn't something I've shared before, but I really have been reflecting on the fact that this has been a time when people have truly reassessed what's important to them and what's important in their lives. And I do believe that personal connection, that the deep human need for travel and experiencing other ways of living, other people, I think is going to come back stronger than ever. I think I think that bodes well long term for the travel industry. I don't think we're going to snap back to the way things were in 2019. I honestly believe those days are gone. I think people will be making travel choices in a new way. And I think they'll be expecting different things from their travel experiences. And that's why I think making moves toward creating more responsible travel opportunities are really going to resonate with people, because I think people are going to attach far more meaning to whatever they do, and they want to take travel in a way that matters. And I think that bodes especially well for Colorado.
Good. Well, Cathy, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. I know you're a busy lady, and you're just about to go and conquer the world with regard to people coming to Colorado, be it regionally, nationally, or internationally. And I'm very pleased to hear that you're going to try and maintain, or in fact, even strengthen your sustainability and environmental issues. And it sounds delight to be able to travel around Colorado in an electric vehicle. That sounds very exciting. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. And best
Cheers.
wishes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.